So, well, this one we're just going to polish something. You don't really need to do this because I'm sure you're making a different type of game. So I'm just going to create a master light control. Okay, here's one more thing I want to do. Actually, no. Let's open this up. Over here, namespace, say, so on update, I kind of want to have a reference to the player transform. Okay, so if settings dot resource manager the player instance is null, actually it's not going to be null. No, that's the wrong way to do this, because whenever we call player instance is actually going to instantiate the player references, the prefab. So we don't want to do this. We want to do, let's see, do we have a singleton over here? Do we have a controller? On the controller, do we have a singleton? Don't think we do. Can actually just check by saying, checking what's static. We don't have anything static. Do we have anything static here? We do. Okay, we'll do it via the input manager. So the master light control, if input manager singleton is null, return. Otherwise, we want to have the public, we want to have the transform of the player, the controller to be precise. Then we want to find the distance between the player and the light. Let's say light, master light. Okay, master light dot transform dot position. Now we need to use this distance as, okay, so here's my thinking. I'm going to do master light dot intensity equals mathf dot lerp from 0 to 1 by the distance. So we want to say the public float maximum distance, let's say 10, and over here I'm actually going to make this the opposite way. So max distance via distance, max distance by distance. So the further away you are, the more, it's just going to stay at 0. So let's say float t equals max distance via distance by t, and then we're going to do mathf dot clamp 0 to 1 t. Okay, so let's use this. Let's add this onto our first module first of all. So basically I'm going to be changing the intensity of the light to be stronger at maximum value once we reach that. So you know what, I think the maximum value should be set in the inspector just so that we can control it. Actually, I'm just going to set this to 2. Okay. Okay, so, and let's open this up. Resources, dungeons, module 1, point light. Okay, then this will be master light control. The master light, of course, is going to be this. Let's say maximum distance of 10, yeah. Okay, save that. And let's hit play. I basically want to reach to a point. Point light. Oh, that's the wrong point light. Oops. That's the one inside there. No, we don't want this. We want this. This light. Okay, intensity is at 2, so that should work. So basically I want the further I am from that light, so it reaches a point where it's complete dark. Okay, so the further I am, is actually the bigger the intensity, and the closer I am, the smaller one. And I think we're doing the max distance wrong. Yeah, we do it wrong, so that will be max distance or distance by max distance. Let's try that. And we can change well, actually I think I'm just going to make it a smaller distance. Okay, that's actually what I want, to be almost completely empty. So let's set up this. Oops. Okay, so intensity is at 0, so over here like this it should not show anything. We're actually going to also add some black fog, so it blends with the background. Let's unfold. Let's select outside anyway, and maybe let's give it a little bit bigger distance. Okay, 30. Okay, let's say 40. Yeah, I think I like it like this. Maybe we can even do 50. So you see it from afar. When you start going in, it will start showing up. Yeah, we'll do it like this. So 50 and 2. Okay, let's see that it doesn't go over 2. It shouldn't. Okay, that's perfect actually. Let's compromise and let's say 45. Let's do point light 45. Okay, so let's open this up. I'm going to move the player spawn up till here, and let's maybe raise this to 100 and 100, but make this below. So basically, if you're going outside of an area of if you go really far away from this entrance, I'm going to transport you back to this place, because why not? Okay, I think that's okay. Maybe we're cutting it. Okay, I think that's so good. So I'm going to say if you go further away from the player spawn, actually we're just going to create a new script that we're going to call a limiter. Again, this is entirely for what I'm doing. You don't really need to do this. Let's say player limiter. And I'm going to say public float max distance. I'm going to say 100, and I'm going to say public transform spawn position, then void update if input manager dot singleton equals null, then simply return. Then again we're going to be checking the distance of our player, basically exactly the same thing as here. Where are you? Player limiter. And if that distance, let's use the spawn position, and if that distance is greater than the maximum distance, we're going to transport back the player. So p.transform.position equals spawn position dot position, p.transform.rotation equals spawn position dot rotation. We kind of want to also rotate the camera. Actually no, we can leave the camera as it is. Okay. So on my player spawn, I'm going to add that there. So if whenever I go 100 points away from the spawn position, I'm going to be transported to the player spawn. Spawn player and then limiter. I think we're going to have to edit the camera as well to make it semi-fluid. But, well, okay, so if I start walking forward, actually, I think it's from down there. Yeah, it's down there. Okay, so let's walk the other way around. Yeah, that's not going to work. It will transport us, but we will still be looking the other way. So we also need to take care of the camera. So that will be camera manager singlet. Do we have singleton dot camera manager dot transform dot position spawn position dot position, and let's duplicate that, whatever, rotation dot rotation. Okay, let's see it in scene view, what's actually happening. Okay, and I'm going to do this like that. So we are in the spawn position. Okay, I think I'll move the player spawn a little bit closer. So I'm going to look the other way around like this and keep walking. For 100 points I should be walking. So if I'm correct, I'm going to be transported seamlessly, because everything is black of course, back to and towards the yeah, okay, I'm not correct, And I think that is because we are not changing the Euler angle, the look angle of the camera. Yeah, we need to change the look. Let's see. Follow speed, pivot. Let's open that up. And we're using the look angle. Okay, that's easy to do. So back to the limiter. After we have assigned our rotation, we're going to do look angle. Yeah, okay, let's save the transfer of the camera. Euler angles.y. Now it should be fluid, since we're going towards the camera. Let's see. Okay, so that's spawn position, that's this. Then let's look at the opposite way, or any way for that matter. We just need to get further away from the spawn position. And the further away we go, we should spawn. Yeah, I think it's not that fluid, but it is fluid enough. And we can control it, I guess. So no matter where I'm going, I'm actually going to be walking towards the entrance. Okay, we didn't freeze, but we will if continue, so whatever. So let's also fix that. We just need to be closing the object, and that will happen with a very simple script, which is on trigger enter events. So this will be a utility script. So let's do on trigger enter event, delete all of that, add the namespace. Let's assign it under utilities. Then we'll do Unity engine dot events, then public Unity event on enter. You can have an on exit, but I'm not going to use it over here. So now I can do on trigger enter, and I can also do on trigger exit. Okay, on enter, invoke, on exit, invoke. So that way I can actually add things that happen once you pass through a trigger. So let's open up our module 1. Of course, feel free to use this script for whatever you might want. So right now all I'm going to do is create an empty game object, and I'm going to call this close limiter. Box collider. Obviously, there's only one way inside the entrance. So that will be really easy to hit. Most likely you want to assign another tag to this. So let's say if other, yeah, otherwise that would have been, yeah, okay. Controller, get component parent controller, if C is not null, invoke, if C is not null, invoke. Okay, we only want to do that. On trigger, if trigger event, okay, on enter. Player spawn, game object, set active to false. So now when you go down to the entry point, you can just close that. And of course, we can also, you know, create or block the entrance somehow, like with some doors or something or whatever. Feel free to do anything you want there. Okay, we could test this, but I think I'm done with this part. And of course, nothing stopping me triggering this and then going back up, as you can see. And now if I go back up, I will actually break it and I won't be able to, you know, to teleport back, so I could lose my way. So I think what I'll do is just block this guy entrance. So as you can see, we do have some problems with our controller, which is something I'd like to address in a future video. So that's it for this part. As always, you know what to do. Like, subscribe if you like to see more stuff, more videos, more series, more of everything. If you like to help me finish this game eventually, then consider supporting me on Patreon or keep supporting me if if you're already doing so. And I'll see you on the next one.